Hello and welcome to the first of the series of 5-minute anxiety chats, really. My name is Suzanne and I want to talk to you about all things well-being. And at the moment, one of the focuses I have is anxiety. Anxiety has been a constant visitor in my life, and I speak from experience both on a professional level and on a personal level. However, what I will say is that this is not medical advice. This is based on my own experiences, and I would like to encourage you to seek help from a medical professional if you feel that your anxiety is becoming a problem and you do need to find support. Let's talk about anxiety. This first video about anxiety, I wanted to sort of make really generic. And I wanted to start talking about some of the things that help anxiety. In the future, I will be looking at what causes anxiety and different methods of treating anxiety, different techniques I'll be sharing with you. But today's video, I wanted to talk about one of the most fundamental supports for anxiety, certainly in my experience, and that's meditation. So many of you have said to me that you struggle to meditate, and I understand that. It's not for everybody, particularly the guided meditations that you find all over the internet. However, if you do like guided meditations, I do have two available at this point in time, and I will link those down in the comments. One of them is a body scan and one of them is a breathing exercise. But what I wanted to talk to you about today was the very first steps in being able to refocus your mind, because that's partly what meditation is about, just refocusing your mind. So if you struggle with meditation, maybe these little exercises will help you. So the first thing I want to think about is changing your breathing. So when you are anxious, your body is in what we call fight or flight or freeze mode. So it's prepared because you're frightened to do something to protect you. So it either wants to run away, or it wants to fight something, or it wants to freeze. And if it wants to run away or fight something, your body, because it's really good at doing its job, will prepare itself for those eventualities. So it's prepared to fight a bear or a tiger, or it's prepared to run from something that's a threat. And we'll talk about the mechanisms of all that in another video for the detail. But for now, let's just understand that that's what it does. And because of that, what happens is your heart rate goes up so that you can get more blood into your system, and your breathing increases. So you start to breathe faster because your heart's beating faster and it needs more oxygen. Yeah. So if that makes sense, then it makes sense for us to do something to slow that down. Your body gives messages to your brain, and your brain gives messages to your body. And if we can teach ourselves to breathe a little bit more slowly in the eventuality of anxiety, then that then gives our body and our brain a message to say, actually, we're all right and there isn't a threat. So let me just take you through some very easy breathing techniques. Okay, so the first thing I would do is to get you to recognize your breathing. Just focus for a minute on the breath going in and the breath going out. So the inhale and the exhale. Notice that and just have a feel for where that is. And what I want you to do is just slow that down. It doesn't matter at this point in time about counting how many seconds it is. Just slow it down a little bit. And notice how your tummy rises when you breathe in and falls when you breathe out. Let's just do that together for a moment. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And now just slow that down for a minute. And just notice how that feels. And as you do that, just try and take a breath that's a little bit deeper than it was before. And allow that breath to exhale a little bit more slowly. Now, a lot of people will teach you how to count for your breath, so they might do 5 seconds in and 7 seconds out, and that's okay if you want to do that, but for me, I find that difficult. So I like to focus on my breath, therefore your breath, and just count in terms of whatever feels comfortable. So just slowing that breath down is really important. And the second thing we need to do in terms of getting ourselves into meditation is to focus on something else. We need to empty our mind a little bit. We need to give the brain a rest, okay, because it's been working really hard. So to do that, rather than having to go onto YouTube and find another meditation and sit for a long time, I only need you to do this for a couple of minutes. Once you've done your breathing, I need you to focus on a point in the room. It might be you're looking at a chair, at a window, it might be, you know, you're not at the TV. Please, it's not about watching the TV, but just an object. Just focus on an object, and just for a moment, just acknowledge any thoughts that come into your mind. And once they come in, just imagine that you can just pop them onto a cloud in your mind and allow that cloud to take that thought out of your mind. It's okay to have a thought. We all have thousands and thousands and thousands of thoughts every day. But just for a couple of minutes, each thought that comes in, acknowledge it and let it pass, whilst you focus on that object and slow down your breathing. So let me know how that goes. Try that in your own time. Replay the video if you need to, and we'll talk about anxiety again another time. Let me know in the comments if you want certain things about anxiety. You know, I'm really interested to work with you and understand what your needs are. And I'll see you again for another well-being anxiety chat. Bye for now.